Title Insanity. Somebody say insanity. The worldly definition of insanity that most of us grew up on is doing the same thing expecting a different result. Doing the same thing expecting a different result. That's critical because our working definition of insanity, Dre, I see what you did. Boy, you a bad boy. Our working definition of insanity is making moves that make no sense to man but perfect sense to God. I want to stop and suggest that I am in an insane season. Somebody ought to just put that in the comments, an insane season. What does that mean, Pastor Mike? I am prepared to do what eyes have not seen and ears have not heard. So let's talk about this. In the midst of this series, we started out with the brother who was blind by the name of Bartimaeus. And when he heard that Jesus was passing by, he began to scream, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." That's critical. That's critical. And then when we see Jesus again, we're dealing with the woman with the issue of blood. We have two people who are going through some difficult times in their life who both need Jesus in a major way. And they both have to bust some insane moves. That's so critical. They have to bust some insane moves. And I want to talk about real quickly, and let's take really good notes. And I got everybody with me. If you see them in here on this side, I have my men. They are back. Kind of stay away from 3, Dre. So they're back, and I need you to catch this because we got the fellas over here. But on this side over here, we got our ladies. And I'm kind of frustrated because the men must have got together and decided to wear all black while the ladies just came random. That's that Saul spirit right there, ain't it? Y'all did so well for the last 2 weeks. They had to organize. In the words of that beautiful brother who's gone on to be with God, they had to coordinate. So they coordinated over there. So let's talk about the power of desperation. This is critical, the power of desperation. We see a brother who's blind, and this blind brother says, I got to get Jesus' attention. So what does he do? He begins to scream, "Jesus, Son of David, have what? Mercy on me." So I'm going to put you on the spot. One of you jump in here. Why did he scream mercy and not grace? Let's talk about that. Why did he scream mercy? I think I came out too hot today, didn't it? I came out too hot. Why did he scream mercy and not grace?
I'm going to take a shot at it. It was customary that whenever somebody had an issue that it was subject to, well, it was because of a sin that somebody may have committed that was connected to that person with that issue. So when he cried out, he was talking to not just Jesus as the human, but as his divinity, which means that he was saying that he had the power to forgive him of whatever sin that he possessed, which may have caused whatever issue that he may have had or what was committed. I just wanted to take a shot at it.
Did you agree with that, Leslie?
I do. Actually, I jumped in where you asked about that, and I looked up the definition of mercy. It says compassion or forgiveness shown towards someone who it is within one's power to punish or to harm. So therefore, he believed that Jesus had the power and the authority to harm him. He had the authority to make him pay for whatever it was that caused him to go left in dealing with the superstition that somebody sinned and caused him to be born blind.
Bring that to modernity for me, Pastor Hollis. Make that make sense, because all that sounds good, but I'm not sure they grasp it.
No, I think it's so dead on, because ultimately, when I look at mercy, he's appealing to Jesus, his title as a Messiah. He's not just looking at him as a healer. One thing we have to understand that in that culture, in that time, in that context, they were looking at Jesus as this faith healer. They had yet to accept him as Messiah. And part of, I think, the blessing of this text is that we're looking at a man who's able to recognize what other people can't see. That this is not just this man who can heal me, heal my physical body, but ultimately this is this man who can heal my spirit, my soul, my mind.
Give me a working definition. I'm gonna give both sides something, okay? Fellas, you get grace. Ladies, you get mercy, okay? So here it is. So define grace, fellas, real quickly. Define grace.
Grace is getting something that you don't deserve.
Yeah. You agree with that? Yeah. So unmerited favor, boom. Mercy is?
The punishment not being as bad as it's supposed to be.
The punishment not being as bad as it's supposed to be. Okay, so let's talk about this. Grace is getting something you don't deserve. You're saying mercy is the punishment not being as mad. So grace would be the new job, even though I don't have the qualifications. And mercy would be, instead of some getting cut off, it just get delayed.
Or getting probation, or I'm supposed to do time.
Do time, but so I'm showing you what? Mercy. So
Yeah.
I want to talk about this. So what's the difference? If I'm standing here, why would I say mercy instead of grace?
I think when you look at it with mercy, you know you're guilty. You know you're wrong. You know what you're supposed to get. So you saying, look, just don't make it as bad as it could have been.
Y'all ain't giving me what I want yet. Come on.
Mercy is not getting something that you do deserve. So maybe in his own mindset, he felt like where he was, he deserved that. He said, so have mercy on me, heal me, even though I know I've messed up, I've sinned, I've made mistakes, but I'm asking you to heal me anyway.
Y'all not giving me what I want. I need y'all to speak it where you can feel it. Come on. Why would he say mercy? I want them to be able to feel this. In my opinion, I want to take your definition, and conflate it. Mercy, son of David, messianic title, have mercy. What if he was thinking, don't even fix it all.
Come on.
Just give me something.
Oh,
You said, what if he's saying, you know what? Hey, mercy, in other words, hey, heal my soul even if you don't fix my eyes.
that's good.
And I see a pattern because when Jesus heals somebody, he always says, your faith has made you whole before he even deals with the physical issue. What if this brother's request was made known? Because he was asking God, save my soul, even if I can't see with my eyes. And I want to submit to somebody watching me today, your asking should be in reverse. You are asking God for stuff before you ask him for the things that can make your life whole. And I'm in a place in my life where I am desperate. Somebody say desperate. This brother shouts out, have mercy on me, but the sister, she busts a move. Now, Pastor Hollis, y'all talked about something that messed me up called insane strategy. She had to be strategic in her approach. I said this weekend, and I pray you can receive it. The brother who was blind was known for being blind. He had, I'm scared to go here. I may lose 100 members right here. He had a socially acceptable issue.
That's good.
I don't think you heard what I just said. He had a socially, culturally, religiously acceptable issue. He's blind. That ain't that deep. So he could go public with his issue because he's blind. Well, you know, he's blind. He's blind now. And that's why I don't like church. Because some people in church only accept stuff that's socially acceptable. So if we see somebody who's a liar, well, he just lied. But then we hate on folk who got stuff that we don't want to address. Y'all don't miss what I just said in here. He has a socially acceptable issue, so there's no problem with him stepping out in public saying, hey, have mercy. But when we see this woman with the issue of blood, her issue is not socially acceptable. So she has to be strategic. One can move in popularity. One has to learn to move in obscurity. This is good. One has an issue that people don't mind helping. The other had to finance her own healing. Y'all sleeping on me tonight? Bartimaeus had an issue that folk would give money to. This sister evidently wouldn't nobody give her nothing because the text says she spent. Hey, it's two people watching me tonight. One of y'all have people who are trying to look out for you, but even though they're doing what they do, it ain't fixing what you really need to be fixed. But then there's another one of you that won't nobody help you come out, and you've had to give your all to get out of your situation. I came to suggest to you that your desperation, this is critical, leave me alone, Corey, your desperation is what's gonna push you. And this the power, that was good, of desperation. And I want to submit to you today that some of you not desperate enough. I want to submit to you that sometimes your actions don't match your confession.
Wow, that's good.
Let's talk about that.
That's good.
Your actions don't match your confession. Yeah. You say out your mouth, I'm ready for God to move, yet you still steal. Yeah. I wonder how many people watching me tonight are still. Y'all missed what I just said. I wonder how many, let's do some wordplay. How many people watching to me tonight are still? I'm believing God for a new job, ain't applied for nothing. Well, me and my family gonna get a house this year, ain't fixed nothing on your credit. or you just sitting back waiting on God to do it. That word wait doesn't mean I'm looking at the clock. It means I'm in preparation. I am prepared. This is critical, the power of desperation. And I want you to realize Jesus on what I would call a rock and roll tour. This is crazy. If you're watching, I pray you can catch this, because what's happening, Pastor Mike, he's going from city to city blessing people. But after some time, the very people who he was blessing turned on him and demanded he be killed. One day they love him, the next day they hate on him. I said this weekend, and I think many of you missed it. You have to be careful, because there are certain people in your life who will shout when it's prophesied, then kill you when it manifests. Wow. That's cold-blooded, Curtis. There are people who will shout when it's prophesied, then kill you when it manifests. Make that make sense, Candace. This has an important thing, and I need you to catch this, because there are people in your life, Curtis, who will shout when I announce you pastoring. Yep. That won't help you when you actually pastoring. Yep. You got to move slides. So you got to understand that there are people who will shout when it's prophesied, then kill you when it manifests. So what do we see? Insanity is doing for love instead of with love. Got to catch up. Insanity is doing for love instead of with love. And what I've discovered in my life is that a lot of the pain I have experienced and endured is because I improperly assessed my own motives. I'm talking to somebody today. I improperly assessed my own motives. Aisha, this is cold-blooded. As good as a person as I was, I realized in my past there were certain things I wasn't doing with love. I was doing for love. And when you do for love, their affirmation becomes your praise. See, if I'm doing it for love, if Leslie doesn't tell me thank you, I feel empty. If I'm doing it with love, she don't have to say nothing. I want to talk about this. What are some areas in your life you've really had to reevaluate yourself with? Because this whole juxtaposition between with and for love can be detrimental.
Yeah, I think, Pastor, what you saying that really is such a blessing to me, because even growing up in ministry and now pastoring, there's this temptation many times to, especially when we're so prone to want to hear the crowd talk back to you. You want to hear somebody say that you did a good job. And so as a minister, you'll get in this mindset where you'll start preaching what you know people want to hear instead of what God told you to say. And so then you start battling between if you want to be affirmed or appreciated. Because
Stop. No. I need somebody to put that in the comments. I want to do a poll right now if you're watching. What's more important to you, being affirmed or being appreciated?
Yes,
Break
sir.
that down. What's the difference?
All right, because affirmation is me saying, hey, I approve of you. I love you. Appreciation is, hey, I love what you did.
Oh my God. He just said something. Say that again. Say that again.
So when I affirm you, even when we look at Jesus being affirmed, when we see God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit present when he's baptized, he says, this is my beloved Son in whom I'm well pleased. He's done no miracles. He affirms him.
So affirmation, this is cold-blooded. Affirmation means I love you.
Yes.
Appreciation is I love what you did.
Yes.
So many of you are going insane because you're asking for affirmation,
Yes.
but you are a slave to appreciation.
Yes, sir.
So many marriages are broken because what you're really telling your wife is affirm me, but what you're really asking for is I want to feel appreciated. That's critical. And I want to suggest that insanity is the improper excess. Insanity, you done messed me up tonight. Insanity is the improper discernment between appreciation and affirmation. Because look at your pastor. Live long enough, you're going to want both. See, we're not going to be so spiritual that I just walk around and say, I just need to be affirmed. I don't want to be appreciated. The devil is a lie. Devil is a lie. I want to be appreciated. We're painting our bedroom now, and I picked a nice color, and lady told me she liked the color, and when she told me she liked the color, that made me feel good. It made me feel good when I walk in and y'all look at me and say, Pastor, you sure did preach this week. That makes me feel good on the inside. Come on, Curtis.
I want to add to that, because I've learned from when there are times where you affirmed me that there's activation in the affirmation. So when you affirm, there's an unlocking or an activation that takes place where power is released because
Somebody
the
a pastor
Father has
now, ain't it?
affirmed you. I'm just giving you how it was given to me.
Somebody's
You
a
started
pastor
something.
now, ain't it?
There's activation in the affirmation.
Say it again, Curtis.
There's activation in the affirmation.
Say it like a pastor.
There's activation in the affirmation.
You better have church with me tonight. There is activation in the affirmation. So we're building this together. There is activation in the affirmation. So if then it has to be balanced on both sides. If there's activation in affirmation, then there is blank in appreciation. See, it has to be balanced. Because if we leave it like that, they're going to hang up thinking that affirmation is higher than appreciation. So we got to do this live on the spot. So if there is activation in appreciation, because there's also activation in affirmation too, but let's just go deeper. Let's put ourselves on the line today. What is there in appreciation?
I would say motivation.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Motivation. If you appreciate me, that motivates me to want to do more.
Tighten up. Hear me now. So when I say this, and back in the back, I need y'all to really tighten up tonight. Hear me when I say this, okay? So activation, there is activation and appreciation. So then there is also motivation in
Affirmation.
No, I said that wrong. I said that wrong.
There is motivation and affirmation as well. It's interchangeable. If you think about it, when you affirm us, that motivates us to want to keep going deeper and want more than what we have now. Just like if you appreciate me for what I do, then I want to do more for you.
I wonder who right now is depleted because they haven't felt any appreciation. And because they haven't been appreciated, they now lack motivation. Motivation. A prophet. What if Jesus kept walking because there was no appreciation at home? The scripture says a prophet is without honor in his own hometown. That's cold, ain't it? So ain't it crazy when your appreciation comes from foreigners? That's crazy. I got to move. This is cold-blooded, and I need you to catch this. Why? Because so many of us are about to mature to a place where we no longer do for love, we do with love. This is cold-blooded. When we tiptoe into the corridors of today's text, we find ourselves situated and acculturated in Luke chapter 23, verse 26. This Lucan passage is pregnant with teaching possibilities, principles that we can take and make applicable to our everyday life. As they led Jesus away, a man named Simon, who was from Cyrene, happened to be coming in from the countryside. The soldier seized him and put the cross on him and made him carry it behind Jesus. Now, we understand culturally, I can't wait to talk about this with you guys, that this character, Simon of Cyrene, some say Cyrene, I like the way my professor said it, Cyrene. Simon was from North Africa. He was a what? Black man. And many theologians believe that Simon was the first African saintly Christian. Who knows a little backstory about Simon? Anybody? Who did your research? Did anybody do some research?
One thing that was interesting, we talked about this before we came on, was that later on in the book of Romans, you see Paul, when he's writing to the church at Rome, start talking about Rufus and Alexander, who were believed to be Simon's sons. They went on to help further the gospel, not only in Jerusalem, but also in parts of Africa. And when you think about him carrying that cross, if we play with that text for a little minute, let's just say that his son saw him carry the cross. And them watching their father carry that cross planted a seed in them that said, okay, this man is worth following too. And I think what that screams at us is that as parents, as role models, pastors, leaders, whatever it may be, that there are people watching the way we choose to carry what we carry. And that's going to help them make a decision over whether or not they're going to choose to carry it too.
All right, I want to see this. I love what you just said. I love putting you guys on the spot or stretching your mind. I want you to be able to see with a biblical lens, but also a practical lens, taking text from antiquity to modernity. What does that mean, Pastor Mike? Taking a scripture from biblical to now. I'm going to read it again. I want to see what you guys see, okay? As they led Jesus away, a man named Simon, who was from Cyrene, happened to be coming in from the countryside. Pay attention to Simon. The soldiers seized him, put the cross on him, and made him carry it behind Jesus. What is something in this story that is screaming that nobody ever sees? You need some help? At no point does Simon speak. That messed me up in my devotion time this morning. If I'm called out the crowd, arrested, and forced to serve, at some point he should have complained.
That's good.
That's critical. I wonder who's watching me right now who has been called to something that you haven't been trained for or prepared for, and you are wasting too much time criticizing your own call.
Wow.
How am I supposed to carry this? I ain't strong enough. How you know? I'm going to say this, and 17 people going to type, he preaching to me. How many of you have went through some things that you did not think in the beginning you would survive, only to survive it and realize you were stronger than you thought?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
3 phrases in this text should make all of our spidey senses go high. They seized him, put, and made. That's critical. We don't know if Simon was strong. We don't know if he was weak. All we do know is without training, without preparation, he was able to handle whatever the enemy threw at him. Insanity is assuming because they did it to you, you can do it. Insanity is assuming because they did it, you can do it. And too many people are sitting on the sidelines of life, watching you guys, watching you carry crosses, assuming they're light. I wish I could speak to my singles, and all my singles, you better get ready. I got something crazy coming to you. PMJ Live and Uncut Singles Ministry. It's going to be one of the craziest, most empowering, spiritually edifying nights you've ever experienced in your single season. And one thing I want to submit to you, you are too busy looking at other people's crosses or victories, assuming that's a weight you can carry. That's cold-blooded, ain't it? I want to talk about this, and I pray you can receive it. I want to submit to you that what's driving a lot of your haters, a lot of your enemies crazy, driving them insane, is that they can't figure out how you're doing what you're doing. That's cold-blooded, ain't it? They seized him. The soldiers seized him and put a cross on him and made him carry it behind Jesus. Now notice this is the only story, Luke is the only writer who records this story and says, made him carry it behind Jesus. Behind Jesus. That's critical. I said this weekend, and I pray you can receive it, that proximity can either kill or build. That's cold-blooded. Proximity can either kill or build. I was tripping the other day. I had the boys. We were working on football, and we went to the park, and they had their little helmet on, and we were throwing the ball. Xander, who's 13, Mason, who's 11. I told Xander to check Mason. I said, jam him. He's hitting Mason in the chest, and Mason's quick. He's normally able to get off of that, but Xander's 13, so he's getting off, but he's feeling it. Hitting him in the chest, hitting him in the chest, hitting him in the chest, and I saw it, and I was paying attention to see if that broke him or motivated him. See, that's what I was doing as a dad. I was trying to sit there and see, would he get discouraged because he wasn't strong enough? Or would he get mad and rise to the occasion? I want to submit to somebody watching me today that you have cowered in seasons when you should have rose to the occasion. You spent too much time talking about what happened when you should have been focusing on what God was trying to change. Oh, I want to talk about that. Let's talk. What crosses have you had to carry that if you didn't address it or approach it the right way, it could have broke you, but because you were spiritually mature, it made you grow?
That is so good.
Well, for me, Pastor Mike, I've had so many people lately say, Tiffany, I admire the anointing you have. I want to be like you. And I had to break it down and say, do you want to be like the Tiffany who lost her mom at 13, lost her dad at 18, or was pregnant at 14? It's some things I went through before I was out of my teenage years that prepared me and gave me strength in my adulthood. And so, again, going back to that cross, you're looking at something, admiring something that if you had to carry it, it would have broke you. But God anointed me and gave me strength in that.
We got to stop asking. I think one of the most cancerous things that's happening to our culture right now is pictures. This is cold-blooded. It's pictures. It's pictures. Make that make sense, PMJ? A lot of us are looking at pictures when we should be asking God to reveal to us blueprints. See, a picture shows you the end of a thing. The blueprint shows you how a thing was constructed. Did you catch what I just said? I was tripping the other day, man, because I went and looked at a house with my parents, and I went and looked at it, and I went to another house with my friend, and everybody just got me praying for stuff. Saying, Pastor Mike, if you got a second, come stop by here and pray. And I was like, man, it's a nice house. This is their first home, and I hit the wall. I was like, man, this is nice. And he said, yeah, we're going to knock that wall out. I said, what you mean? He said, hit it. I hit it. I hope you catch this. He said, hit the wall. I hit it. I said, what's that? He said, hit it over there. I hit it over there. He said, you don't hear it? I said, no. He said, Pastor, the sound lets me know if this wall can be put. I said, what do you mean? He said, it's too hollow right there. The sound, strength and stability has a sound.
That's good. That is good.
Strength and stability has a sound. He said when you hit the brick or the solid part, it was solid. But when you hit something that had no strength, the sound was different.
That's good.
Hear me. What was the difference between Bartimaeus and the crowd? The sound.
Yeah.
Only a trained ear could hear that.
Wow.
Jesus, 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 Jesus. Hey, Jesus, hey, Jesus. Is that him, Jesus? Hey, Jesus. Jesus, Son of David. Yeah. The sound was different.
Yeah.
You ever heard somebody say it's a different type of sound a hit dog make?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
You ever heard a crying baby?
Yes.
You ever heard a hurting baby?
Yes.
The sound different.
Yes.
See, I want to submit to many of you right now that your conversation is the sound.
Wow. That's good. That's so good. That's so good.
That's cold, ain't it? See, Hollins, I can tell if you mature not by what you say to me when you're not hit, but what you say to me when you hit.
Yeah.
Did you catch what I just said? See, there is a language to every culture and a language to every season. I took my kids to the doctor, I'll never forget it, and the doctor, when I went to the doctor, they said on a scale of 10, how do you feel? I said, I'm like a 7. They said, okay, cool, all right, because my knee was hurting. So I need you to catch this. I never forget when I took my babies to the doctor, they said, all right, we got these pictures on the wall. Which face are you? It was a smiley face, a not so smiley face, a screaming face, teary face, because they knew with kids, I have to communicate different. Yeah. It's a lot of grown folk who need children communication. Because age don't equal spiritual maturity. I'm preaching if you receive that. Age don't equal spiritual maturity. This is cold-blooded, and I need you to catch this right here because Luke says it's something very minute but so important. He did not carry it with him. He carried it behind him. Following is key. This is why Luke also backed it up and said, if you're going to follow me, take up your cross and do what? Follow me. I want to put you guys on the spot right here, and I pray you can receive it. And if you're enjoying this word tonight, I just want you to type, Pastor, this is good, this is good, this is good. I want to talk about this because what do we see? This man is under overwhelming pressure. Overwhelming pressure. Overwhelming pressure. And I want you to catch this. I want you to catch this. The pressure is so thick. Can I just talk it like I see it?
Yes, sir.
It's one thing to fail in front of y'all. It's another thing to be too weak in front of Jesus.
Wow.
Think about that. I am assigned one of the greatest tasks in the world of helping he who helps us all. This is critical. This is critical. And I need you to understand, what do you need in your life? Let's go quickly. We see overwhelming pressure. Number 2, we see the original plan. The original plan is for us to follow Jesus. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to see how you guys feel about it. The best position, the best political position for the Christian should be homeless. I thought about that today. Wow. Neither political party fits who I am as a black Christian. Wow. I am homeless politically. Wow. And the Holy Spirit said to me, Michael, you have to get to a place now where you understand in this potential climate, you're going to be placed in some uncomfortable places. Watch this. But it may be your cross. You want to know what I discovered, especially with this new school church and these new school Christians who really believe life ain't nothing but blessings? Yeah. You want your cross to be comfortable.
Yeah. I think that's so good, Pastor, because this text shows us that you can't pick your cross.
That's good.
When you pulled out those 3 words, they seized them, they put it on him. He was given a cross. And if we're not careful, we'll try to choose, hey, I want this to be my cross. I want, pride to be my cross. But then sometimes God said, no, pornography going to be your cross.
That's good. That's good.
You know what? Well, hey, money gonna be my cross. No, God says no, poverty gonna be your cross, and we can't pick the cross that we want. God gives us a cross because He knows what is ultimately gonna pull out of us.
You wanna know what's crazy? And I try to help. I was talking to a pastor yesterday, and I told him he irritated me the more I talked to him, and I was trying my best not to just go there, but I couldn't take it. I felt God say, "You got to be honest with him." I said, "Brother," I said, "you probably one of the most spiritually immature people I ever met in my life." He's a pastor. He says, "What do you mean?" I said, "You think you are so intellectually gifted that you have properly assessed your own cross." I said, "You got to chill." I said, if you're not careful, I said, you keep telling me what's wrong, then telling me how to fix it. So you really didn't want my honest opinion. You wanted me to affirm what you thought. I said, I've lived long enough to know you can't pick your cross. You can't pick your cross.
Yeah. And that's why when you said that and when you were saying it really struck home to me, because that Luke 9:23, he said, before he says take your cross, he says the first thing you gotta do is deny yourself. So it's not about me. And so it's like the first thing you deny yourself, take up your cross, and then you can follow me. There's no following Jesus without first denying yourself. And when you deny yourself and take yourself out of the equation, it's I'm exchanging my wants for his will.
That's
like
cool.
That's what's important to me. It's not what I want, but what is his will.
Go to Luke 9:23 NLT version on the screen. Luke 9:23 NLT version. Then he said to the crowd, "If any of you wants to be my follower," let's talk about this, "you must give up your own way." That deny myself, give up your own way. The thing that you think is the best route for you, you have to trust me totally. I said this weekend, and I pray you can receive it. God ain't my co-pilot. He's driving. I'm a passenger in this thing. I need you to catch this, the original plan. I'm looking for two types of people today, and we talked about this Sunday, and I'm running out of time. The first type of person was one that touched my soul. I've gotten so many inboxes about this, some cross carriers. I said this weekend, and let's unpack this. True connection is revealed, not in your conversation, but in what you carry. That's cold-blooded, ain't it? True connection is revealed too fast, not in your conversation, but in what you carry. That's cold-blooded. I want to discuss with this, and I pray you can catch this, that everybody talk good, but I'm in a season of my life where I can make an honest-to-God statement. I pray you can receive it. I can't carry this alone. I'm finna say something. I pray you don't lose respect for your pastor. I pray you say, "God, put me in that same position." What God is doing in my life is too big for me to carry by myself. You are a small person if you want a blessing that you can maintain. I don't think y'all heard what I just said. You are a small person if you want a blessing that you can maintain. I'm finna prophesy, and 10 of y'all gonna receive it. The next job is too big for you not to have an assistant. The next check is too big for you not to have an accountant. The next blessing is too big for you not to have a team to help you carry it. I speak by faith. What God is about to do in your life is so big, you're going to need some cross carriers. Is that not good? Some cross carriers. And true connection is revealed not in your conversation, but in what you carry. Stop talking and pick some up. Do I need to say that again? Stop talking and pick some up. I'm so tired of being on the phone talking about what I'm doing, and you just saying, "Man, that's crazy." No, pick it up. You see me trying to start a business. Stop telling me you praying for me. Pick something up. Stop asking for a discount. Pay full price from me like you would do it over the mountain. Pick something. 7 people who are pursuing something that's bigger than you, who believe God is opening some crazy doors in your life. You ought to just type, "pick something up." You see me trying to go back to school, help watch a kid. You see me trying to get a house, help put something on it. You see me trying to start a business, become one of my donators. I need supporters. I need you to pick something. Somebody shout, "pick it up." This is cold-blooded. Now here's what's crazy. I need you to receive this. He helps Jesus carry the cross. But here's something we got to talk about. We got to talk about. Stay right. You got to talk about it. Why is that important, Pastor Mike? It's important because he did not pick it up by choice. You want to know what God spoke to me and said? Stop being mad at people who either don't know to pick it up or refuse to pick it up. Call them on it. And whatever happened at that point happened. Jump in there.
You know, and I just thought about this, and Pastor, you correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like your conversation also reveals what you're carrying. And that's why you know certain people who you go to who carry mess. If people all coming to you to gossip, that's probably what you're carrying. But you know who to call for prayer. You know who to call who carrying faith. So that's why when I come like, Pastor, listen, I'm thinking about doing this. What do you think? Because I know what you carry. I know the wisdom you carry. I know the faith that you have. And so a lot of times conversations with people will reveal what they feel like you can carry.
I was in a room the other day that I shouldn't have been in. Everybody in that room had just major influence, major money. I don't have none of what they have yet. I don't have none of what they have yet. Okay, so hear me when I say this, and I'm sitting in there, and they said something to me that I pray y'all can catch. They said, Pastor Mike, you've been in here an hour, you haven't said anything. I was afraid that if I started talking, I would reveal I wasn't on that level. So I literally say that what all of you guys have said is very interesting. What we got to do is just kind of stay focused on what the overarching goal is. And I shut up. Because I know conversation will reveal. You ever met somebody, then once they started talking, you said to yourself, oh, you ain't what I thought. See, I need you to catch something. I believe he didn't say a word because Jesus wasn't saying a word. Had Jesus got that, had he got under that cross, and Jesus would have been saying, man, this too heavy, he would have said, man, it sure is. But because he was silent, they were silent. Hollis, Pastor Curtis, my greatest fruit is gonna be what you guys are. You gotta be careful. See, this is why you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful, Pastor Curtis, Pastor Hollis, those of you who are on this panel that thousands of people are watching right now, because how you carry yourself outside of that camera says who you're following. I need some cross carriers. Cross carriers. But number two, when they came to the place of the skull, they nailed him to the cross. They nailed him to the cross. And not only do I need some cross carriers, I need some people who are nailed to it. Nailed to it. In other words, this is, can we put this in the notes? Am I helping anybody? Can we put this in the notes? Connection versus covenant. Connection versus covenant. Connection versus covenant. Yup. I'm discerning and I'm discovering there's a very distinct difference between who I'm connected to and who I'm in covenant with. Can we make it simple? Who's attached to me and who's assigned to me. I'm nailed to it. Win, lose, or draw, Kurt, I'm nailed to you. So if God blesses Curtis that when we come out of COVID, it's 3,000 people waiting on him in Montgomery, I'm gonna be standing right there on stage with a smile on my face. God forbid Kurt gets in something and it's a major scandal, I'm gonna be standing right there, right next to him. Why, PMJ? I'm nailed to him. Some of you guys are frustrated, and some of you watching me are experiencing intense pain, deep-rooted pain, because you went through a trial in your life and you discovered the people you thought were nailed to you were just attached to you. I got teary-eyed the other day, and this may not make sense to a lot of people. I got teary-eyed because in our laundry room, my wife went to the store and kind of bought these baskets. Then she ordered something offline. It's a little picture that says McClure Family Laundry Room, and we just thought it was so cute. And she said, baby, put that up in the laundry room for me. So I took some nails out, and I was nailing the wall, and I just started crying. So then my boys looked at me and said, why are you crying? I said, because when me and mommy got married, we was living in this apartment. And they told us we couldn't put nails in the wall. So we had to go to Walmart and kind of get these little glue little things, the thing that you pull it. And I can remember when we got ready to move, we were scared because, man, we nailed the wall. I said, this is my wall. I said, I can do what I want to it. This is my wall. And that nail just messed me up because a nail is somewhat permanent. You know the difference between nail and tape? For the most part, once you tape, if you pull it off, it may be something, but you can just kind of fix that. When you nail something, it leaves a sign. It leaves a sign. You can't be nailed to me and not be different.
I want to say something because I was thinking about the difference between attachments and connections.
Come on.
And some people are connected to you, and then there's some people that are attached to you. So an example would be my phone. So when it comes to an attachment with my phone, you have a phone clip, you have a phone case. If I take the phone case away from the phone doesn't stop working. The case doesn't cease being a phone case. But if I take the battery out of a phone, then the phone stops working and the battery has no significance. And so we got to be careful that we're not attached to people or we have people attached to us that the moment that they leave us, they never even benefited us in the first place. We got to be connected to people that are connected to us, that it's a give and take relationship, which means that you feed me and I feed you, you strengthen me and I strengthen you, you build me, I build you. But when you're attached to somebody, the moment they leave you, they never even benefited you in the first place.
I want to say this, and I pray you can receive it. What you're saying, if I could summarize, McClurize, and contemporize what you just said, that there are certain people in our life who are accessories and certain people who are necessary.
And I thought about it's a difference in a contract and a covenant. See, in a contract, it's verbiage in there that can let you get out of it if you want to break it. But with a covenant, some blood got to be shed. You can't just walk away when you're in covenant with somebody. Yes.
That's come on.
When the nail is removed, there's a hole left. And so I've had people that were nailed to me, and if when they left, I felt it was something missing. And there's been other people where when they left, it was like tape.
I ain't feel nothing.
I ain't feel nothing. So I think that's the difference too. And you got to understand the value of those people who are nailed to you. That I know everybody's replaceable, but there's some people when they leave, it's gonna leave a hole.
It's gonna leave a hole. This is a public service announcement to every person who walked out your life and you forgot about them. They weren't nailed. But then there were certain people who left, you ain't been the same since. They left a hole.
Pastor, I want to jump in there because y'all really stirring something up, and my wife wants to be like your wife so bad. Y'all started decorating, so then she got me at the house decorating, and I was hanging this picture, and we got some of the command strips that you're talking about. I put the command strips on the picture, and I was out on the deck last night watching the Laker game, and when I came in the house, I slammed the door too hard. And when I slammed the door, somehow the picture fell off the command strips, right? And so I tried to put it back up there. An hour later, it fell down again. And I looked at my wife and said, I told you I should have nailed that. Because had I nailed the picture to the wall, the nail would have the capacity to hold it. When truth be told, the command strip couldn't handle the weight.
The weight.
And so many times when you have people who are just attached to you, they can't handle the weight.
That's good.
And so ultimately, when they can't handle the weight, they fall off, which is why I think it's so important that you have people who are nailed to you. So when life gets hard and when you have pressure, when you have problems, when stuff goes left, you don't fall off because you weren't just attached, you were nailed.
Can you handle the weight? I want every person watching me from this day forward that when anyone new comes into your life, read a disclaimer.
Wow.
I want you to tell them, before you call me friend, before you call me bae, before you call me wife, before you call me husband, before you call me your partner, before you call yourself member, before you call me pastor, make sure you can handle the weight. You are too anointed. See, many of you are crying about folk who fell off. A lot of people didn't leave, they fell off. There's a difference between leaving and falling off. Leaving is a decision. Falling off meant the weight got so heavy. I can't even remember when you stopped coming around. I can't even remember when we stopped talking. It was the weight. There is a weight that comes with me. Watch this. Watch this. Somebody say wait. Wait. I see you, Corey. Somebody say wait. Wait. Let's talk about this. I'm out of time. Shall I proceed? Yes, indeed. So here it is. Let's reenact this. God sees Jesus carrying the cross. Most scholars believe the reason they picked someone to help him carry it was because they looked and saw Jesus was at a point of death. And had he died before the crucifixion, they would have been killed. There are certain people the devil is using just to keep you alive. Everybody who help you ain't a blessing. Certain people are keeping you alive because the devil has greater plans for you. Do I need to say that again? I've lived long enough to know that God has a plan for me, and also the devil has a plan. Now, the devil's plan is not going to work in Jesus' name, but he does put. I gotta go before I lose my train of thought. Jesus, can I paint the picture? Jesus carrying the cross. He's falling. He's walked as far as he could walk. He's been beaten in the back with a cat of nine tails, which means it's ripping his flesh off. So he's bleeding from the back, bleeding from the chest, crown of thorns, bleeding from his head. That's a lot of blood loss. He's weak. We know he ain't ate or drunk nothing. He's at the point of exhaustion. They look and say, somebody got to help him. And they scan the crowd. You, come here. See, we were taught favor was you. But sometimes the enemy picks you because you look different. I need you to catch this. It's the look that makes it. I don't know why they picked Simon, but I need you to catch this. I hope you 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 catch this. Jesus evidently needed help carrying his cross. Watch this. And the disciples are nowhere to be found. Peter should have had that cross on his back. Peter, I want to ask you a scholarly question. Luke is writing this, right? Does this mean Luke was present?
No, they actually believe that Luke heard the story secondhand.
Secondhand. So Luke gets the story. So was John present?
John was present because he later speaks to John at the cross.
So John was with Mama, right?
Yeah.
So Luke ain't there. Where Luke? He done scattered.
Luke wasn't a part of the disciples.
So
Luke
who's
is someone
Luke?
who shares the story.
Okay. So Luke shares the story. So where Down Thomas at?
He's somewhere.
Hold on. I'm proving a point. Where that big old dinner table they had? Wow. Because you know that big old dinner table?
Yeah.
That all them was at the supper?
Yeah.
Eating with me.
What the folk who got the conversation of carrying cross? So you were good enough to pass out fish?
Yeah.
Wow.
Good enough to roll in the cities with me. But when it got thick, I'm finna paint a picture. It was a foreigner who helped him. I'm finna make somebody scream. This is why the people you thought had your back didn't. And you ended up friends with somebody you thought you would never be friends with. Because it's always the person you least expect to come through for you. That's critical, isn't it? I need you to catch this because it says he had to carry his cross. But once you carry your cross until you get to your purpose, which is Golgotha, you got to get nailed to it. And I'm at a place in my life where I'm understanding, that was so cold-blooded what you guys said tonight. If I'm nailed, it's going to leave a mark. Nailed. It's danger in covenant. It's danger in covenant. Here's what we don't talk about. If Curtis ever walks away from me, to walk away from me is dangerous. He can walk away. We can both come mutually and Curtis walk away. And we both come to an agreement. We just outgrew each other. We're different. Booyah. If Kurt walk away and don't even say nothing, it's going to be assumed something happened. Because the perspective is he's what? Nailed. There's those people who walked out my life just was never the same when they was gone. It wasn't fun. They left a hole. That hole is so important, Tiffany, because when they come back, how does Jesus prove it's him? He shows them the holes. He shows them the holes. You should have just recognized my face, but that ain't good enough. I'm going to show you what I survived. Holes, I'm going to show you the testimony.
And I think that helps. Even when I look at relationship with the staff, relationship with you, when you can be transparent and honest enough to let people see your holes, so that people can know how to love you, so people can know what you need. Because a lot of times we think people come to us whole. A lot of time God sends us people that already have holes, that He's bringing us into their life because He knows that we have what they need. We carry what they need to be able to love them even past the holes, the disappointments, the people that have walked out, that have hurt them. That we're the ones that can be the ones that can carry that to make them whole.
Our door, when you walk into our house from the garage, did not have a stopper behind it. So the boys, of course they walk in the house, blow the door open. What happens? The knob knocks a hole in the wall. I need you to catch this right here. All right, so I tell the people yesterday, I say, how do I fix this? Is it going to be expensive? He said, no, Pastor Mike, I'm not charging you for that. That's nothing. Hole was about that big. I said, what you going to do? I hope you catch this. I'm going to mud it. I said, can you explain to me what mud is? I'm gonna just take this right here, slap, 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 put that over it, then I'm gonna smooth it out. Let's let it sit for a day. Let it sit for a day. He comes back the next day, it's hard, right? So I'm like, man, that's cold-blooded. But then he fusses at me. He says, Pastor Mike, he said, what you did last night? I said, I didn't do nothing. He said, what you do last night? I said, I didn't do nothing. He said, I gotta re-mud this wall. I said, why? You didn't touch it? I said, I just wanted to see if it was ready. He said, but I said don't touch it till this morning. He said, so I'm gonna redo it again. I said, all right, cool. Then he got busy, hasn't been back. Right now, there's still a hole in my wall because I touched something too soon. Healing was taking place, but I had to touch it. I hope somebody watching me today realizes that text is a touch. Taking that trip down memory lane is a touch. Reliving past pain is a touch. You was almost mudded and free, but you just had to touch it again. You was picking at that scab. It was almost whole. Have you ever had a scab that was good, but then you peel it back and you make it bleed again? God told me to tell you, stop touching it. Father, in the name of Jesus, send me some cross carriers. Send them some cross carriers. But send them some people who are nailed to it. I pray every day because I'm nailed to the vision. I give because I'm nailed to it. I'm faithful because I'm nailed to it. That God, I pray right now that they grow to a place where they understand the difference between connection and covenant. God, when I came into the building tonight, they told me the stream was live and I wanted to share it with all of my followers. There's only one problem. I was not connected to the internet. I asked for the right Wi-Fi. Once I got connected, I was able to share. God, the thing that I love so much is that connection is temporary. That connection feels like covenant because it only works in proximity. Covenant is not just to a place, it's wherever I go. And God, I promise to take you not just to church, but I take you on my job. I take you around my family. I promise to be loyal to those who I've given covenant to. I promise, God, to share your gospel everywhere I go. Father, I repent for every cross I put down. I repent for every no I gave you when you told me to go somewhere, for running away from a call. God, somebody watching me has been called for a long time, but sitting on the sideline because they don't think they're good enough based off of other people's perspective. The devil is a liar. I call them into the field right now. I call them into ministry right now. I call them into purpose. They're valuable. Father, I thank you for the things you've carried for me. And I ask in this moment that you create in us a clean heart and renew a steadfast spirit within us. Equip us with what we need to be what you call.